Welcome to Revealing the Hidden, where we take a deeper look into Jewish living. Okay, so we're getting closer and closer to Tisha B'Av. I know that we've been in the theme of the 3 weeks, and I hope you've noticed I try not to dwell into darkness and sadness, although that is definitely part of the experience of Avelus, of mourning and not having the Beis HaMikdash here. And mourning obviously is sad. But I feel very strongly that the way to transform during these days is to spend time upgrading the system, updating, looking at what's happening, and allow the experience to change us and to drive us into becoming more of the people that we want. But there is also the notion of yearning for Hashem, and I think it's something that's very, very difficult for a lot of people, specifically the mitzvah of tzipisa Yeshua, to await the redemption. You know, the Talmud famously states that there are 6 questions that you'll be asked first when you go up to heaven, including Nasata be'emunah, did you do business with faith, and questions about whether or not you learn Torah. And one of the questions is specifically tzipisa Yeshua. Did you wait? Did you wait for the redemption? And it's something that I think, a lot of times you go to shul and you're like, okay, this is supposed to be emotional, this is supposed to be deep, this is supposed to be painful, and I try every year to connect, and I happen to find that in our generation, it's way easier to connect to the keynotes at the end of the keynotes recitals, the ones that are connected to the more modern tragedies and the Holocaust, and from there, being so related and connected to the previous generation and knowing these people and understanding more about the depths of the atrocities that had happened, it's easier to tap in from there. But there's an element of tzipisa Yeshua that isn't just about mourning the pain of the Jewish people, but much deeper much more straightforward is understanding that the world is not right, and that Hashem's home has been abandoned, right? And the incredible tragedy of that is something that, and looking for Hashem, knowing Hashem is going to answer, Hashem is going to respond to the call, and Mashiach is going to come, and wanting the Beis Hashem, it takes a lot of work. It really does. It takes a lot of avoda. And I wanted to speak about one element of that tonight that I thought that might be helpful. Okay, so the element I want to speak about when it comes to tzipisa Yeshua is an interesting line from the Beis HaLevi. If you read the Beis HaLevi's famous, ever-growing and more popular letter on Bitachon that he wrote, the authorship is beautiful, it's straightforward, it's simple, it's real, the messaging is powerful. And in there he has and if you're not paying careful attention, you'll miss it. But he has this notion that when you wait for Hashem, when you're waiting for God in your own personal life, and we all need Yeshuas, right? Everyone in our own ways, and hopefully in the ways at the moment when you're listening, more minor ones, but we are Klal Yisrael, and especially now with with everything that's happening, the anti-Semitism that's growing in the world, the dangers that have met the Jewish people in Eretz Yisrael, and even when they're not in danger, just the financial crisis that so many personal people have gone through, leaving their house, having to start again, having to stop their jobs, going to Miluim for 200 days, 400 days, and things of that nature that are very scary and hard and overwhelming, and things that we don't always think about. And of course, our hearts cry for the hostages. There's a lot going on, and what the Beis HaLevi says is that there's a kiyum, there's a fulfillment of tzipisa Yeshua, of waiting for the redemption, that's personal. In other words, if you are waiting for God to come into your life and to save you, that itself is a kiyum, a fulfillment of the mitzvah of tzipisa Yeshua. It's wild, right? the way we understand this mitzvah is we're waiting for Mashiach. To hear about the stories, the Chavetz Chaim and having his frock that was prepared and ready to go when Mashiach comes in the Mashiach bags. I have a very good friend, his name is Yoel Lex, who was very into having a Mashiach bag packed, and it was like it's one of those things that's like, wow, what an amazing person and what an amazing thing he does, and I want to be like him. I want to do that and live it, like mamish, let it live inside of your bones. But this is like, it feels so personal. Like, oh no, so you're having a hard time. You're waiting for God to Yeshua. Like, how is that a fulfillment? And one of the things that I guess underratedly is happening or is being stated very subtly through this is the notion that tzipisa doesn't mean waiting like I hope. It's a misunderstanding to think that it's hope. It means to look for it. You know that it's coming. Like Harot Sofim, the Mount Scopus, right? You're scoping something out. You're looking for it because you know that it's coming. That's what Tzipisa Yeshua means. It's a total and complete faith and understanding and knowledge that the answer to your question is yes, that God is coming and God is there going to help with it. And he goes on to explain and talk about this a lot in the letter, that the more that you lean into God and the more that your faith is deeper in your feelings and knowledge and confidence in God going to help you, so not only is it going to be something where you're doing a mitzvah, it'll actually affect the outcome because you trust in God that he's going to take care of you, but the trust itself builds more schar and builds a better result. There are psukim that hint to this idea of Hashem chesed yisovevenu. People who trust in God, kindness will surround them. Or Hashem yisugav. The people who trust in Hashem will be strengthened. And both of them, it's like the actual trust itself is going to affect the outcome, and you're going to have a much deeper, more direct hashgacha pratis in your life. It's very powerful. And the fact that it's a kiyum, so yes, there's an element of you have to yearn for God to be here in this world, and to thirst for him, and to want him. That needs to come from the inside, from your heart. Like Hashem, this world is not right without you. But the notion of having full and complete knowledge that God's going to come back, that's something that you can grasp in a microcosm in your own life. If you want to expand this, so we were talking about the pain of the Jewish people across the world. If you can really tap in for a minute to the pain of the other Jewish people and remember their hand is me. They're a hand on my body. I am a foot on the limbs of the Jewish people. That we're all mamish one. So then, tzipisa Yeshua, waiting for Yeshua, for you, could be him. The Shar Yosher in the Hakdama of Shimon Shkap writes that there's a contradiction that happens in Pirkei Avos. If I'm not for me, who is for me? But if I'm for me, then what am I? Which one do they want? Are you supposed to be for yourself or not for yourself? And what he explains is that the question is, what is your ani? What is me? Is me my Daled Amos? Is me my children? Is me my wife? Is me my family and my relatives and even my machatanim? My machatanim are awesome. I hope they're listening. But is that what it is? Or is me my community? Oh, maybe me is all the Jewish people of Houston. Maybe all the Jewish people of America. Maybe all of Klal Yisrael. The deeper that you expand the definition of who you are, so then when you're tzipisa Yeshua, if you apply this principle of the Shar Yosher, then guess what? Then if you apply this principle of the Shar Yosher, then when you're waiting for the Yeshua, and you're waiting for his Yeshua, you're waiting for your Yeshua, it's really his. You're waiting for the Yeshua for all Klal Yisrael. And that itself is what brings the Geulah. As Samach David has a beautiful, beautiful way that it's framed. Usually when we ask God for something, for refuah, let's say, because heal us because you are the faithful and merciful healer. But when it comes, by you say you're the one who gives wisdom, and give it from us. It's like there's an understanding. It's because you give it, we get it. Or formulations like that. If you look carefully in Shemona Esrei, I'm not in front of a seder at the moment, so I can't look up the precise one. So you'll notice that in many of the brachas, what we're saying is because of this, God, right? Because of this thing, I know that you're going to save me. I know that you're going to answer. But when it comes to Esamach David, we say Kili Shuascha Kivinu Kol Hayom. You want to know why Mashiach is going to come? Because we're waiting. Fascinating. Because we're waiting, Mashiach is going to come. So it's the waiting itself. If you can tap into it, we're waiting. I'm waiting for the Yeshua of another person, but that person is me. Right? There's a tzipis of Yeshua that's so deep, right? And that's what brings the Geulah. Hashem wants us to wait, to look, to Hashem. I know it's coming. Open up my eyes and look for it. We should be zocheh to have this attitude and this feeling and this energy, and awaken Hashem and to let Him know we are looking. My eyes are open, wide open. I know it's coming. Hashem, show it to me. I know the Mashiach is coming. I'm going to close my eyes. I don't have to know the way. I know it's coming. And we should all be zocheh to this feeling. Finally, just to close, you should know during that line, Kili Shuascha Kivinu Kol Hayom, because for your redemption we have waited all day long. What you should say, you should think, says the Arizal, in your mind and in your heart, what it is that you're waiting for, and it's a big segula for Hashem to answer and to shower down with your answer. If you say, Hashem, I'm waiting for my personal Yeshua, for this thing, for a sheikh, for money, for parnasa, for whatever it is, if you really, really tap into Kili Yeshua at that moment and think about it, then it's a big segula for that to come in. We should all be zocheh to blessing and life and Ahavas Yisrael and Torah and mitzvos and a good geschmack day and Mashiach. See you soon.